know. You never know.
All right, hey folks, it's You Never Know. I'm David Olney, and glad to be here. Let me see what happened. Last week went to the dogs. Miller, the Wonder Dog, sang along with me. We had a great time, and as a result, Miller has been nominated for Canine of the Year, and I have been nominated for Best Supporting Dog. Coming up this Wednesday, playing my first show of 2019 at the EOP Writer Series at the Red Clay Music Foundry in Duluth, Georgia, on the north side of Atlanta. Playing in a guitar pull at the EOP Writer Series with Chuck McDowell, Dan Navarro, and Corby Linker. And then January 24th through the 27th, Dan Seymour and I play a trio of shows with 2 debuts in Florida. Tallahassee at the Junction on Monroe with Danny Goddard to open. Fort Lauderdale headlining the South Florida Folk Festival, and South Tampa at the Folk Goddess Gloria Holloway's House Concert Series. Be nice to see Gloria. She's really been a stalwart in the sort of singer-songwriter Florida scene, and doesn't get enough credit. So let's not start now, hey? No, thank you, Gloria. Just announced a couple of solo performances in Nashville. I wonder what they are. In early February, and headed to the Lancaster Roots and Blues Festival in late February. All tour dates and all that stuff are on the website, davidolney.com. Okay. I did this interesting thing yesterday. It was a memorial service for this guy, Victor Anthony, who, when he lived in Nashville, went by the name of Victor Mecyssne, which is his born name, and but it was impossible to spell. Anyway, he fell in love with a Canadian woman and moved up to Canada, and they got married, and he changed his name to Victor Anthony. And he's a guy I knew, and from playing, and we played some gigs together. I think we did a show at the Bluebird, and someone I liked his music. He was like a really facile finger picker and do that old kind of old-timey stuff. But that's as far as I knew him, really, except for this one thing, which was he was kind of taking care of his mom, who was dying, and he took it on himself, that he brought her home and took care of her. And it just, it boggled my mind that it just was amazing to me. You take care of your folks, and I hope my kids take care of me, but this was a full-time thing. It was like the rest of his life just basically came to a stop. But anyway, it was a lot, and there was this thing of he needed to go out and kind of run chores and kind of catch up with his life. So this thing opened up where he wanted some people to kind of look after his mom while he went out for like maybe 4 hours at a stretch. And I think I was just curious. It's not in my regular normal thing to volunteer for something like that, but I did it. And I spent an afternoon with his mom, who was suffering from Alzheimer's, but was extremely charming. We played songs, we sang hymns and talked, and it was amazing. And then Victor came back, and this was so intimate, this thing that they were doing. He was shepherding her through the last stages of life, and I just sat there in awe. And it just, it stayed with me. It stays with me now. I think about it at least once a day. I think about that, how that was. But that's how I knew Victor. So yesterday they had a memorial service, and people just sat at this place. They just sat in a circle, and the various people got up and talked about, his wife Joelle got up and talked about how they met and their marriage, and you know, I mean, it was deeply moving. Other people who worked with him talked about him, and little by little, well, not really little by little, very quickly, the life of this human being emerges and stuff I had no idea of. He was an actor, he worked with kids, he taught, I mean, it was just running into this life that you'd sort of noticed and kind of said hi and all this stuff, but suddenly you see that this person was like really extraordinary. And I thought, well, maybe that's the way it is for everybody. If you take any human being and only tell the good stuff about them. And I thought, well, I don't know that that's true. I just know that yesterday it was true. That the life of a really cool human being kind of emerged from his friends sitting around remembering him. And it was a very moving thing. And I was lucky to be there. I stayed and then I left kind of as quickly as I could, because I just couldn't process the whole thing, and I wanted to get out and drive around a bit and think about it. But anyway, what I wanted to do was sing a song that Victor did. Tell me, baby, do I ever cross your loving mind? Does a feeling come and take you back in time? Nice and slow. Don't it make you wonder, where in the world do the good times go? It used to be so easy, Lord, it ain't so easy anymore. You used to smile so big when I came to your door. Not no more. And it makes me wonder, where in the world do the good times go? Well, I used to be a dancer, quite the romancer. You were the apple of my eye. Now could we do a duet? Was I happy, honey, you bet. Now how can you tell your old partner goodbye? Hold me, baby, hold me one more time, for old time's sake. Remember what a pair we used to make. Now ain't that so? And it makes me wonder, where in the world do the good times go? Well, I used to be a dancer and quite the romancer. You were the apple of my eye. Now could we do a duet? Was honey, you bet. How can you tell your old partner goodbye? Hold me, baby, hold me one more time, for old time's sake. Remember what a pair we used to make. Now ain't that so? And it makes me wonder, where in the world do the good times go when they go? And it makes me wonder, where in the world do the good times go? All right, there's a song Victor Anthony did, and I think I'll just leave it there. Just leave it on a note thinking about Victor. So, hope you're doing good. It's messy weather out there today, but it's winter, so what do you expect? All right, I'll see you next week.